use the ones that are just plastic lids because recycled, yeah. Watercolor paint. You can use any watercolors you want. I pretty much just use the ones that are in a tube. You'll need black, this royal blue, and this random blue color. I don't even know what kind of blue he is. And then white for the stars. So need purple, but I didn't have pre-made purple, so I made my own. Acrylic paint, preferably in white for the star detail. Need a cup of water to wash your brushes. I like to use these cans because of the little tops up here, because it's easier to clean your brush and get the excess water off. I like to use monster cans or anything cans because recycled. Yeah, rock on everybody. And now brushes. I like to use these brushes. They look really ugly. I'm sorry, I leave them in cups of water. I like this one because it's like dense and fluffy and yeah. It distributes a nice product. I like the fan brush that are wet because I clean them because I don't want to look like a slob. I like fan brushes because you can thin your product but get enough amount on there and make it look really sporadic and cool. Then I like using this one. He came in like a model painting kit. I think he was for like varnish or something, and I just like using it for stars. So yeah, he's gone through the ringer. And then I like using these two for more controlled product, like blues and pinks and purples and stuff, because you don't want those to go everywhere, but you just want enough of them to look nice. So yeah. Onto texture. I like to use, you can use a sponge. I don't really like to use sponges, but you do you. And then I use little napkins. I like grab these from the table after everyone's done eating, so they look dirty, that's why. You will also need coffee because, let's face it, if you don't, you will go mad doing this, so coffee is good. Next, you will also need one of these as a spray bottle, because you're going to be spraying product around, so yeah, just don't spray anybody in the eye. Please don't. So we're just gonna put the paint on our palette like you do, like one does, but I'm really slow, so we're gonna speed this up. We're gonna set the brushes aside and we're gonna spray our paint, because let's face it, it's not watercolor without water. We're gonna skip ahead because I'm slow. And then we're gonna use this brush first because it distributes a bunch of product. So yeah. Next, we're going to take our spray bottle and just spray over where you put your black paint. This gives it a really crazy little effect. Now, I learned this from Alistair. I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong, but yeah, I learned that from his brushes video because that's how he does backgrounds, and he is just, every single piece he makes is just amazing. So yeah, I will link that below if you would like to learn more and see some of his amazing work. Next, I'm going to take this paper towel and wad it up and just, I don't know, just dab it around, make it less dark in some places. It really doesn't need to be perfect because nebulas aren't perfect, but yeah. So take this fan brush and dip it in the blue, because the dark blue, because I want it to have a lot of blue in it, but I don't want it to be like super pow, hey, the blue's taking all the fame. So yeah, and then I'm just gonna pat it to make it a little bit less intense, and just do that all around. Again, there's no rhyme or reason for this, just do it until it makes you happy. And I'm looking at the screen. Stop looking at the screen. Stop being weird. I'm confused now. Next I'm going to take this little very controlled brush. It's very, 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 very dense, and therefore it takes up a lot of product. But I don't want to put a whole lot of this around as much as we did the blue. I want to keep it pretty small with that light blue. It's very, very, very pigmented. And then I'm going to just thin it out with some water, dabbing it again. Again, taking black and just kind of making everything a little bit bigger rather than a small nebula, because this entire poster is going to be of space. Because this is going to be a series. So yeah, we're going to speed up because I'm very slow and this is going to get boring. Next, I'm going to take this like little dense square brush and I'm going to dip it in the purple that we did, even though it turned out way more red, but it looked good anyway. And I'm just going to put that around all the other places. I'm focusing this more in the dark areas because I've noticed that in pictures of nebulas, it's way more, where there's a lot more dark, there's a little bit more red. So then I'm just going to spray it around a little bit. Pretty much you're going to continue to spray and dab. That's all you're going to be doing. So just continue to add your secondary colors until you are very happy with it. Try not to go overboard with the colors unless you have a theme, which my theme is darker nebulas, which don't have a whole lot of color. They mainly focus on black, gray, and white. But yeah, just continue to do that. You can splatter the paint around a little bit, give it some texture and dimension. I love saying those words. But yeah. Next, we're gonna take that really disgusting looking scraggly brush and I'm gonna dip it in the white. Take my spray bottle and just spray it on the brush. I didn't spray the white beforehand because I like this method better. Then just take one of your fingers, make sure it's clean, and just mix it in, and then just splatter the brush. As you can see, I'm just taking my finger and just flinging it around. That sounded weird. Hit the camera again, what was wrong with me? So we're just going to continue to do this until you have your desired ratio between, well, until you just like how it looks with stars. This creates part of our stars. Now, if it mixes with some of the water on the paper, that is perfectly fine. That is what it's supposed to do. That's why we are using watercolor white. And then I'm just dabbing a little bit out of the water because I don't want it to be that saturated in water, but yeah. makes the stars a little bit more detailed in there, whereas watercolor will just like blend with everything and then it looks like a big mess. So yes, that was it for this tutorial. This was a tutorial on the Dark Nebula. I don't know if I'm going to do this every week or every day, but I will definitely be doing this a lot more. Next up will be a Red Nebula, and so on with the color wheel. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this voiceover didn't suck. I have a feeling it did. Bye!